Hello friends, welcome to Study IQ. Today we are going to have a very interesting discussion about money. Right? Recently a report has come which has highlighted that India has added 40 billionaires in the pandemic year, that is in 2020. And the rich people in India like the Adanis, the Ambanis, they have actually seen a great rise in their wealth in the pandemic stricken year. Right? It's quite paradoxical. On one side, majority of the people have got hit because of the COVID-19 pandemic. We are all going through economic problems, economic issues, isn't it? But on the other side, a minuscule minority in India is actually gaining more and more wealth during this particular COVID pandemic. So let's look at these numbers and get surprised. At the end of the discussion, I'm also going to talk about one economic topic which we are going to infer from this particular development which has taken place in the COVID-19 year. Let's begin. But before that, I am your friend Rahul Saigonkar. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on the ID Rahul Sai 222. If you have any queries, any doubt, if you want to connect with me, you can directly message me on Instagram. I do reply on Saturdays and Sundays. Apart from that, Study IQ has a smart course for those who are preparing for UPSC civil service examination for IAS and IPS. We have EMI facility available for you. For more information, please visit our website studyiq.com, or you can also download the app from Google Play Store. And don't forget to hit the bell icon and subscribe to our channel, Study IQ. Right, let's first talk about the news. A new report has come called as Hurun Rich 2021 report, which says that 40 Indians have become billionaires in the pandemic-stricken year of 2020. In fact, now, as of now in 2021, in India, 177 billionaires are living. Now, let me just give you an overview of what exactly is the meaning of $1 billion. See, in short, if I consider $1 to be around 75 rupees, then $1 billion amounts to 7,500 crores. That means in India, we have 177 people who have net worth more than 7,500 crore, right? It's a very interesting development. Let's look at the list first, the report first, then we'll talk about the numbers and the people, right? This Hurun report, it is basically developed by Rupert Hugoworth. Rupert Hugoworth, who's popularly known as through his Chinese name Hurun. He is the chief chairman as well as chief researcher of Hurun report. And this Hurun report is basically a research, media and investment bank firm which is best known for its list called as Hurun Rich List, which gives the ranking for the wealthiest individuals in India, wealthiest individuals in China, in the world overall. Right? What is the motto of this Hurun mission is to promote entrepreneurship by bringing in lists and by bringing in more and more research in terms of economic parameters. Right? The main business operations of this Hurun report is in China, India and United Kingdom. Now, apart from this global rich list, this Hurun Foundation, it also brings Hurun Global Unicorns. That means the new startups which are doing very well. The Hurun China 500 company list as well as Hurun Art List, the most valuable art list in the world. Right? So this is the report which has come out right now, and according to the report, let's first talk about the overview of the report with respect to India. Now, when I talk about this particular report, what it does, it takes the data from January 15 to January 15. That means from Jan 15, 2020 to Jan 15, 2021, India has added about 40 billionaires in this particular list. And this year's list, the Hurun Global Rich List 2021, it has ranked 3,228 billionaires from about 2,400 companies and 68 different countries. And the report highlights 209 Indians. Out of those 209 Indians who are billionaires, 177, they live in India. And a very good observation from the last couple of years with respect to this report is that India has been adding billionaires almost at the same rate as US is adding. For instance, India is adding approximately 40-50 billionaires every year, and US adds around 69-70 billionaires every year. So quite comparable data for India and United States of America, right? Very interesting. Now, before we move on to the Indian names, Indian numbers, let's first talk about the world and get a world overview of who is the richest person in the world. And no prizes for guesses here. First is Elon Musk, and something that you need to observe here is from Jan 15, 2020 to 1 year, that means Jan 15, 2021, the year-on-year growth rate is 328%. I'm repeating, it's 328%. His wealth has gone to $197 billion. He's right now the richest person in the world. And we all know that he owns the company Tesla. right? Apart from that, number 2 is Jeff Bezos from Amazon. Number 3 is Bernard Arnault of LVMH France. Then there is Bill Gates, there's Mark Zuckerberg. There's one thing which is quite observable is that almost all these people have seen a rise in their net worth. But there is one person who has seen a negative growth rate, that is Warren Buffett. He has seen minus 11% growth rate in this particular financial year, for which the Hurun Global Risk has been released. And one of the important, I would say, gainers here is Mukesh Ambani. Last year, he was on rank 9 and this year he has gained 1 rank. His net worth has increased about 24% and he holds $83 billion, right? So let's talk about Mukesh Ambani, the richest person in India. He's the wealthiest Indian with a net worth about $83 billion. His Reliance Industries, it witnessed about a 0.25% of the jump, 25%, almost 25% jump in their fortunes in the pandemic-stricken year. That's why I told you, we all are reeling through economic issues because of the COVID-19 pandemic, but rich people in India, they are minting money. Right, let's talk about the Indian names now. As you already know, number 1 is Mukesh Ambani from India. His net worth is 83 billion. And number 2 is a far distant Adani and family. Gautam Adani and his family, their net worth is $32 billion. Now, apart from that, you can see the list here. There is Shiv Nadar of HCL, who's at number 3. Lakshmi Mittal, number 4. There is Cyrus Poonawalla of the Serum Institute, who have developed a COVID-19 vaccine. Then there are Hinduja brothers. Uday Kotak stands at number 7 with a wealth of $15 billion. Then there is Radhakrishna Damani at number 8 with a wealth of about $14.5 billion. You must know Radhakrishna Damani by the firm DMart, the company DMart. It's a chain of supermarkets. Then there is Jay Chaudhary of Zscaler, $13 billion worth. Then there is Dilip Shangvi and his family, $12.5 billion of the Sun Pharma. Now, these are the top 10 richest individuals from India. Now, let's look at some of the important observations. Now, if we talk about Adani family, Adani family's wealth has increased tremendously in the last couple of years. In fact, I would say in the last 4 to 5 years, they have gained a lot, especially since the Narendra Modi government has come. In fact, they have doubled their income in 2020, the poverty-stricken years, almost doubled to $32 billion. His brother Vinod's wealth also grew to about $9.8 billion, and this number 32 is together, right? There are some gainers. Shiv Nadar of HCL is the 3rd wealthiest Indian. His fortune has also grown immensely. The other improvers are Jay Chaudhary of Zscaler, who saw a phenomenal 274% rise in his net worth in just 1 year. Also, Baiju Ravindran of Byju's, he saw almost doubling of his income, 100% increase of his wealth to about $2.8 billion. So there are some gainers. There are some losers also. It's not like that every rich person has made money. A prominent loser is actually Patanjali. Patanjali has lost about 30% of its value, right? And that is one of the biggest losers. We'll try to understand what we can infer from all these things at the end of our discussion. Now, let's talk about gender perspective also. When we talk about the wealthiest people in India, we need to talk about wealthiest woman. In India, the wealthiest woman is Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw of Biocon. Her worth or net worth is $4.8 billion. Next is Smita V. Krishna of Godrej. Her worth is $4.7 billion, a close second. And third is Manju Gupta of Lupin, $3.3 billion. That means women are not behind men in terms of being wealthy here. In fact, their wealth has also gone up in 2020, right? But there is something which is very, very strange. The strange thing is that, as I mentioned, I repeated also twice that in India, we have all noted that the Indian economy is contracting by about 7%, which has actually forced our government to bring in lockdown. We have seen the migrant issues. We have seen common people issues, right? That means the entire COVID-19 pandemic has had a debilitating impact on all the people in India, especially poor people. But on the flip side, a small minority in India are getting more and more prosperous during this COVID-19 pandemic, where they have seen a huge growth in their assets, which is very, very strange. Another very strange observation which has come out of this particular report is a comparison between Indian and the United States firms. Now, if we look at the Indian billionaires versus United States billionaires, there is something which we need to understand. In India, the wealth creation is mostly done by the traditional families. You can see all the family names. You can see Ambani's, Adani's, Shiv Nadar, Mittal, etc., right? But for US, the wealth creation is mostly technology driven rather than, I would say, traditional industry or cyclical driven. But in the long run, many experts do suggest that as soon as this tech driven growth it reaches its potential. That means Amazon, Tesla, all these companies, when they reach their peak, after that, India is going to actually produce more number of billionaires based on their traditional and cyclical growth, which is very, very interesting data or an input here. Now, I'd like to end my discussion with this particular inference. Now, what we saw is two Indias. On one side, there is one India which is getting more and more prosperous. Their wealth is increasing despite all the lockdown, despite all the problems, and a majority of India is, I would say, reeling under economic problems due to COVID-19. So what is happening is some sort of a K-shaped recovery which is happening. The same thing happens in economy also. If you look at some of these sectors, they are going up. For instance, technology has gone up, education sector has gone up. I give an example of Byju's. There is retail which has gone up, the software services have gone up on one side, but on the other hand, the other industries have gone down at the same time. That means there is a K-shaped recovery. One or a group of sectors are going up while the other sector is going down, like the travel, entertainment, hospitality, food services, etc. So if you extend this logic to people, a minuscule minority is actually going up in terms of recovery, while most of the people are, I would say, stagnant or rather going down in terms of economic recovery. So it's a very, very important inference from this particular report, which we can take out because it's an important parameter for the policy makers. It's imperative that we need to bring this particular curve together, or else there will be more and more inequality among sectors, inequality among people, which will ultimately lead to disillusionment and problems in Indian economy going into future. That's it from my side on this part of discussion. Thank you for watching. Jai Hind.